Hello, my name is Andrew Breeden, and today we're discussing the forest management in the surrounding area of the Ashland watershed and how it could affect the water supply that is essential for the over 21,000 residents of the city of Ashland. The source watershed is Ashland Creek in the Rogue River subbasin. The area is mainly owned by the federal government, with 98% being the Rogue River Siskiyou National Forest and 2% local government owned. It consists of over 15,000 acres of forest. Main concerns in this region are water quality, quantity, threatened species, economic impact, human life and property, along with community recreation. The City of Ashland has addressed these issues through their 1992 Ashland Forest Plan that has since been renovated in 2016. The plan governs 1,131 acres of forest managed by the City and Parks Commission in and around the Ashland city limits. These concerns were also addressed in Oregon's Forest Protection Act of 1971, becoming the first state to have a governing set of laws discussing forest management. One aspect of the difficulty surrounding the Ashland watershed is the habitat having unfavorable conditions such as natural erosion, seismic risk, landslide risk, and steep slopes. Managing this area is expensive because of these factors, but the fuel reduction treatments used will prevent future intense fires along with the effects on the economy. A study by the Center for Sustainable Economy shows that the initial AFR investments could save the federal government and the city $20 million by avoiding expensive reservoir dredging, temporary water supply, and reducing fire suppression costs and losses in recreation activity. These savings don't include the benefits due to impacts of fire, smoke, and the visual effects on the tourism economy of Ashland. Stewardship agreements are amazing tools where a landowner agrees to ODF regulatory requirements designed to protect natural resources such as water quality and fish and wildlife habitat in exchange for long-term regulatory certainty under FPA's rules. The 2016 Ashland Forest Plan is a strategic plan created by the Ashland Forest Lands Commission and city staff previously mentioned. The FPA's guidelines on how to ensure watershed health when logging should be added on to the 2016 Ashland Forest Plan while incorporating the science from the Trees to Tap reports to protect the watershed's health and sustainability.
Hello, I'm Kimberly Ames. I'm a hydrologist at the Ashland Water Department. My main concern is the health of the community's water supply. The primary water source is the Reeder Reservoir in the mountains above Lithia Park. It receives its water from the Ashland watershed, which begins at the peaks of Mount Ashland and Wagner Butte, then flows into the east and west forks before entering the reservoir. This watershed has steep granite slopes that are prone to erosion and is at risk of contamination due to climate, vegetation, human activity, and fires. There also has been prior major flood events that have caused $1 million statewide, and many Oregonians lost not only their homes but their lives. Staying on top of preventing intense fires is key to keeping Ashland's water healthy due to upticks of fires. Wildfires increase susceptibility to both flooding and erosion, and thus can compromise water quality both during active burning and for years after the fire has been contained. Organic matter is another issue that water faces. Organic matter refers to a large source of carbon and energy in water sources. They can lead to a greater chance of algae blooms due to the suspended solids that make treatment processes more difficult. We can reduce organic matter through whole tree harvesting, and younger plantations typically give out more matter than older stands. Herbicides, pesticides, and nitrogen fertilizers can all pose risks to downstream water supplies as well. Most chemicals affecting water quality are from urban or agriculture uses of herbicides. Roads can also be a risk due to sediment moving into nearby streams carrying toxic metals and petroleum products, along with clogging water intakes. Due to probability of our current plant, a new plant has been designed and planned for a safer site and slated to become operational in 2020 to 2021.
Hi, I'm Dumore. I'm a forester with the Rogue River Siskiyou National Forest. My organization is responsible for forest management and protection. My main concerns are the overall health of our forests and creating a plan to help manage our forests in the long term. We use many methods in order to properly groom our forests, such as chemicals, thinning, and prescribed underburns. Herbicides and pesticides can help eliminate competition for sprouting trees, and they could run off into water sources, so it's important to use them only in areas that's prescribed and with the appropriate buffer. Buffers help leave a margin between our treatment areas and creeks, therefore ensuring that the drinking water of Ashland stays clean and healthy. These treatments knock out threats to older and younger trees like the pine beetle that has affected 380,000 trees in Oregon between 2007 and 2016 alone. Thinning can improve forests' overall health by opening up the canopy for younger trees and bringing in extra revenue into the restoration project. It eliminates ladder fields and helps protect the watershed from devastating fire damage. In doing so, we are protecting spotted owls and silver-haired bats that are a natural pest control and vital for a healthy ecosystem. My proposal is to arrange thinning plans as well as coordinate areas to be treated with chemicals to clear out unwanted growth. Our current forests are overgrown with invasive species and underbrush that are giving wildfires the fuels they need to get out of control. Without taking the appropriate actions, this could lead to severe contamination of the water system that leads to our drinking water. To avoid this, we are proposing to treat the forest with the aforementioned methods. Last year, we were able to treat 14,500 acres with these methods and ended up seeing an annual water yield increase of more than 160,000 cubic acres when we thinned about 80% of the forest, compared to only thinning 30% with a 90,000 cubic feet annually increase. It improved the productivity of the watershed while also help protect it from possible fire damage. We will be working closely with AFR to help coordinate and set this plan into motion. We currently estimate the project to cost about $1,150 per acre, but during our last project, we also saw a $6 million profit from lumber sales that was then used to help fund the project. This cost is quickly offset by the revenue made from both lumber, but also from the improved quality of productivity from the watershed itself.
Hi, my name is Emma Amadeus. I'm a member of the Lomacotsi Restoration Project. We are in partnership with the City of Ashland and play a crucial role in the AFR. We are responsible for prescribed fires and restorations, such as restoration forestry, aquatic and riparian habitat restoration, and oak habitat restoration. Prescribed burns reduce fuels like excess vegetation or duff and decrease severity of wildfires. This is important since wildfires let out carbon dioxide, lessen biodiversity, pollute water and air, increase erosion, damage infrastructure, cause casualties, and damage the economy. Prescribed burns lessen negative impacts and place emphasis on positive ones, like decreasing competition among plants, killing harmful insects, fertilizing soil, and helping surrounding trees in reproduction. Restoration forestry is important because tree composition of local forests has shifted as fire-tolerant tree populations are decreasing, whereas fire-intolerant tree populations are increasing. The effects of this can be seen in the simulated fire charts, where Ashland tends to trend a little too high for comfort. Thinning is also important as it helps protect legacy trees. Luckily, we are not in a shortage of helping hands. The Lomacotsi Restoration Project can have up to 150 people in our workforce at a time. We provide youth education to 15 to 24-year-olds, which should help ensure that jobs like these are prioritized in the future and have employees to fill them. We provide many educational opportunities as well as training. It is also possible in the future that we could form partnerships with local schools so that we are able to promote our youth ecological stewardship training and employment program. It's important to work with local tribes to ensure that their perspective is taken into consideration so that as important stakeholders, AFR's plans are respectful towards their land. We hope to ensure that people are educated about prescribed burns, to design and implement training programs, to continue our application of prescribed burns, and to gain more financial support. We hope to expand to 12,000 acres and $10 million annually, which will help create jobs as well as strengthen local environments.
My name is Nev McGuire, and I am here today representing the community of Ashland. Protecting and maintaining the Ashland watershed helps provide clean, healthy water for our community. Having clean drinking water is important because it allows us to nourish our bodies and function in a sanitary environment, therefore preventing the spread of disease. Ashland farmers rely on the watershed to irrigate and transport water to grow fruits, vegetables, and livestock. Protecting the water we use to grow the food we eat is just as important as protecting drinking water because contaminated water can negatively affect crops and animals. Additionally, we need to maintain our environment because a healthy watershed contributes to a physically healthy body, which then allows us to utilize and enjoy our local parks and hiking trails. As Kim mentioned before, wildfires are a major cause of concern for our community. As the number of fires per year increases, so does the cost to fight them, which financially impacts Ashland residents. Wildfires also cause forest degradation, which community members fear. Forest degradation is a decrease in a forest's ability to carry out its ecological services. Another issue that wildfires create is the abundance of smoke. As a community that has suffered through many seasons of smoky weather conditions, we recognize that it causes respiratory issues, contaminates the air, and frankly, smells horrible. To protect our watershed and our community, I propose we work together with AFR to educate and inform the people of Ashland about how they can work together to create a healthy, sustainable environment. The three main topics we need to educate our community on are the importance of following fire precautions, how supporting AFR can help our environment, and how increasing their tolerance to small prescribed burns throughout the year could ultimately eliminate the threat of large, devastating wildfires. The best course of action we as a community can take is to support AFR financially. If we increase and continue AFR's work on the forest in Ashland, we can create a safe, healthy, sustainable environment.